Hello and welcome to this week's podcast episode. You have another solo one for me. Don't worry, I've got a guest for you next week, but another solo from me. And this week, the reason I wanted to come on this week and talk to you, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about stop. Hello, how are we doing this week? Welcome to another podcast episode. You may have noticed that it's another solo. Don't worry, I've got an interview for you next week, a lovely interview for you next week. But I just wanted to pop on this week and chat to you about health and health in general. And I've realized that I kind of throw this comment around. I've been talking quite a lot recently about my transformation program, the next transformation starts at the beginning of June. I've been talking quite a lot about improving your health or being healthier and throwing those kind of comments around. And it almost becomes a little bit like that, healthy diet and things. And it's like, well, what is health? What do I mean? And what do you mean when we talk about health? And I think there's become, from talking to people sort of generally, friends, family, random people that I approach on the street. I don't do that, I'm just kidding. Friends and family and colleagues. We talk about kind of health, and I'll often ask questions if someone says, someone might ask me a bit of advice or something, and I'll start asking questions, how is this, or how is X and how is Y? And so often I get back, oh yeah, but it's always been like that. Do you sleep very well? Well, no, but I've never slept very well. Or, how's your joint health? Oh, well, I always had a bit of a bad back, or I've always got a bad neck, or I've always suffered with headaches, whatever it might be. I hear a lot of this, well, it's always been like that. And sometimes I think unless we're actually ill or in extreme discomfort, we feel that is normal. And actually, it isn't normal. I think have we forgotten what it actually feels like to feel good, to wake up in the morning and go, I feel great, I'm full of energy, I feel really well rested, I've got no aches and pains, I feel good, ready to take on the world. And how long has it actually been since you felt really well? Now, as part of kind of yogic practice, and I do quite a lot of yoga, we do things like called body scans. When you're in Shavasana at the end, you're often encouraged to sort of scan up your body, and your practitioner, your yoga teacher, will often sort of talk you through scanning from your toes upwards. If you do meditation, it's the same kind of thing. And I'm really encouraging you to do the same kind of thing today. Take an inventory and be really honest with yourself. Firstly, how do you feel? And it's not an accusation. How do you feel? Kind of have a think about it, kind of check in with yourself. How do you feel? Have you got, digestive discomfort? Are you feeling bloated? It's something that I deal with quite a lot, of things like headaches, aches and pains, general aches and pains, and digestive discomfort. Those are kind of the three things that I deal with quite a lot with clients. And, kind of just think about it. Do you feel well? Does your stomach feel good? Does your bowel function feel good? Are your joints healthy and stuff? And I don't want you to feel bad if it isn't. This is a really good point for us to kind of say, oh, okay, it's totally common to not feel great. It's totally normal. But what I would say is, are you in that huge category of people that is living with this discomfort, possibly even living with pain, and kind of doing the whole powering through, getting on with, I just get on with it, get up, get on with it, there's not much I can do. These are things that we have taught ourselves and our children. And I am encouraging you now to change that rhetoric and think, actually, do I feel well? And if I don't feel well, what can I do about it? I genuinely believe that we should feel well. You should be able, not all the time, life is not perfect, but I believe that for the majority of the time, optimal health is our bodies being in the healthiest, optimal health being the healthiest, so the least amount of pain possible. If you are carrying an injury that is very difficult to do something, you might have some pain, but being very aware of that and doing what you can to do something about it. Our digestion should be balanced. We should have energy. You shouldn't wake up feeling exhausted every day. That's not right. Your hormones should be balanced. You should be a healthy weight. And I believe that lots of the underlying issues that we have are because we're not addressing these things, that we are just getting on with it, saying to ourselves, that is just how I feel. That is just how I'm expected to feel. And I want this podcast to really encourage you to say to yourself, actually, you know what? No, I haven't felt great for ages. What do I need to do about getting back to that healthy me? When was the last time I felt kind of energy? When did my digestion feel really good? When was the last time I didn't sit in front of the TV at night time thinking, oh God, my stomach's killing me, I feel so bloated, blah, blah, blah. These are all things that we teach ourselves, that we say to ourselves, that we think is okay and it isn't. So I'm really encouraging you to just take a few moments. If you have the opportunity to now press pause on the podcast and do a little bit of a body scan and a little bit of a check-in, then come back, obviously. And then I want you to start sort of thinking about where is that discomfort? What can you do? And I don't want you to think it can feel like a mammoth journey. And I don't want you to feel like it's really difficult. I want you to start thinking about what are those tiny steps that you can take every day. What one thing could you do to support your journey to improved health? And you probably know one thing that you can do. And what happens with that one tiny thing? So you might be sitting here listening to the podcast and going, well, you know what, actually, I've got a bit of a headache. And I know Wendy always says that drinking more water helps with headaches. And actually, I don't remember the last time, I had my 7 glasses of water a day. So rather than go, I need to drink 7 glasses of water a day, what you need to say is, I remember she said that I should start the day with a glass of water. So I'm going to take a glass of water to bed with me tonight and drink that before I get out of bed. And that is your one tiny step. If it is that that you are constantly snacking all the time, and you've got a jar of sweets on your desk, could you move them off your desk? Just move them. Put them somewhere else, put them in a cupboard out of the way, just move them. That is one tiny step to helping to improve your health and well-being. And if you do those tiny steps, it will support you on your journey to improved health. Now, there are times when you need more help. And this is why this kind of podcast came about, was interviewing some of the people who took part in my previous transformation. So I'm just about to start again in June. If you want to know more about the transformation program, go to hillstart.me.uk/transformation. Link will be in the show notes as always. But I interviewed some of the previous people. We've been doing some of the social posts and re-looking through the feedback that we've got. And one of the key things that came out from the program is that people had improvement, ladies, because it's all been ladies had improvements in symptoms that they were not expecting, and symptoms that they hadn't really thought about in terms of digestion and the food that they eat. And for me, that is the really key thing about this, is really understanding that the food that we put in our body fuels us. It's not just food. You know that if you're listening to this podcast and have been listening to it a while, you know it's not just food, but it has a key role in that. And on the transformation program, this is a 5-week guided program with me. Guys, there is so much support on this program. You get weekly free kind of training sessions. We have a different topic every week while I'll talk you through what we're doing, why we're doing, with a Q&A session. So you will feel really educated at the end of those 5 weeks, really empowered to be able to continue with whatever changes you want to continue with, knowing the reasonings why. We have an amazing supplement protocol from NutriAdvance, which does a whole gut healing protocol. So again, it's not just a food you eat, it's a gut healing protocol. But to say that people said, I'm sleeping better, I had more energy, I had less aches and pains, my skin felt better, all of these things were down to the transformation program. So if what I've just said to you about this body scanner, you go, oh my goodness me, yes, I've been saying this for ages, but actually I don't want to just take a glass of water to bed. I want to make, I want to put some time in the diary for me. Then you can do something like my transformation program. I would encourage you to do my transformation program, of course, because it's guided and it's with me and I'm qualified and trained, and it's not just some weird, hippie person, I shouldn't say that, some weird untrained person trying to sell you a whole load of supplements and some weird shakes and things. This is learning to eat and learning to live to improve your health and vitality. So if you are sort of thinking after listening to this podcast, I would really like some help with that rather than going it alone, come join me in June. Sign up ends on the 5th of June. I think it is on the Sunday before we start. So we start in that first week. So we have a training session on the Tuesday, and then you start on your protocols all on the Thursday with your new eating regime. And there are things that we exclude, but you don't have to exclude them forever. We just exclude them for the 5 weeks. But you're not hungry. Trust me, you are never hungry. If you do a program, you are never ever hungry, because I don't like to be hungry. So it's about eating, well-balanced meals. And if that is too much for when you're like, no, I don't want to do it for the 5 weeks, then remember, have a check-in, see how you feel. Take those baby steps, but take a step to improve your health and well-being. It's never too late to make small changes, and every change that you make and everything that you do to improve your health, remember, this is your health. So the things that I would do to improve my health might be different to the things that you would do to improve your health, but your symptoms would be different. And that's why it's important to really check in with yourself and go, how am I feeling? And then keep checking in, keep taking that progress report, remind yourself how far you've come from making those tiny changes, but keep checking in and, working to the optimal health. We don't want to live for a long life. We want to live a healthy life for as long as possible. So we really need to understand what health is and what health means. And for me, what I want from all of you is the absence of pain, if possible, the absence of pain, or certainly a minimal amount of discomfort. Energy and vitality to be able to do the things that you need to do, to be able to live the life that you want to live. The lack of digestive issues, IBS, is not something that people need to live with. Digestive discomfort is not something that people need to live with. So if you have that, then thinking about what you can do, or finding a practitioner that can help you with that. The absence of headaches and, that kind of brain fog and things like that, that doesn't need to be there. And you can make changes either by yourself or with the help of a practitioner to put all these things, where they should be in that occasional, you should go, oh, I've got a headache. That hasn't happened for ages. I wonder what's caused that. Not, I've always got a bit of a headache. I just ignore it and I power on. It shouldn't be happening, guys. So this episode is really for you to start thinking about, what is health? What does health mean for me? And what can I do to improve my health? And actually, you know what? It's never perfection. No one has perfect health. We can all do things to improve our health, but it should be a case of feeling better most of the time rather than awful most of the time and better occasionally. So I hope that's just give you an opportunity. It's a nice, short, sharp, sweet one today. just really, really quickly wanted to check in with you. I have a fabulous interview next week with the lovely Kathy Davis. Oh, she's got a great attitude. You will absolutely love it. I thoroughly enjoyed talking to her. So join me next week. And as always, remember to check in with me on the socials. Give me some feedback if if you can on iTunes. You can kind of scroll. If you're listening on iTunes, you scroll to the bottom. You leave a review, press 5 stars, of course, and then leave me some nice comment, or catch up with me on the socials. I'm at Fab Female Nutrition on Instagram and at Hillstart Nutrition on Facebook. And tag me on your posts. Let me know, has that struck a chord? Has that made you think about it? And if it has, what one thing are you going to do? What tiny step are you going to do to improve your health, get you where you want to be? Or have you decided to come and join me on my amazing transformation program in June? And if you have, I can't wait to meet you in the coaching calls, because it is going to be amazing. That is it from me this week. Interview next week. Enjoy the rest of your week. Speak to you soon, guys.